Welcome to Health Hacks.
Axel, it's so nice to have you here in New York, and I'm honored that you came all the way to be here today. You are such an inspiring person with an incredible story that is very motivating to many, many people. I would love to hear more about your personal story. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what your story is.
Yeah, wonderful. First of all, thank you for having me, for bringing me already food, which is, you didn't see it, but behind the scenes, you were greeting me with food. You picked me up, so I'm really, really grateful to be here. And for me, this is the first interview that I do on our world tour. And every single time when I start connecting or rereading my own story, my book, it's like I have to pinch myself because a couple of years ago I was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, and I was isolated. It was during the pandemic. I was isolated for the majority of the time in a room, and I would just look at the skyline of Berlin, and now being in New York City, the sun is shining, Manhattan, the view. I'm like, what? So much can change, but
Yeah.
you know, back during that time, I couldn't connect the dots yet. So my story, I mean, how many hours do you have?
Yeah, we got the time. We got the time. Absolutely.
Okay. I think my story actually starts way earlier than this. My parents are immigrants from Uzbekistan, came to Germany to create a better life for me and my siblings. And I'm mentioning this part because it becomes really important later on. And I always say life happens for you, not to you. And all of those skills that I've developed in my childhood just by being surrounded. I grew up with alcoholics. My caregivers were alcoholics. So as a child, I developed a lot of skills to just cope with the situation that later on helped me coping with the big C word, cancer. When you hear that word, that's already like, it's very hard. And the whole journey, I'm sure we're getting into this, was incredibly hard. But to give you context, and maybe we can connect the dots today together in this interview. My very challenging childhood led me to a place at some point in my life to say, like, I want to do my own thing. I want to host podcasts. I want to create content. And I did that. I started my own business, and my life was honestly pretty much amazing. Like, I'm skipping a lot of hard moments, but I used the cards that I've been given, and I built a beautiful life, lived in Bali, and it was all amazing until I got hit, I would say.
Yeah.
I was 26, very healthy. I ate my veggies, my broccoli sprouts. I exercised, and I wouldn't say I had a particularly stressful life.
No.
And then one day, and it really happened that quick, couple of weeks.
Wow.
I went from being incredibly fit to doctors telling my partner at the time that I have a week left to live.
Wow, that is...
And that is nothing that anybody could prepare you for. But that was basically my life in that moment. And then took a good amount of time, but I was diagnosed with something called Burkitt leukemia. I hope the listeners hear that term today for the first and for the last time, because it is a rare but really aggressive form of cancer, and led to me basically almost losing my life within weeks.
Wow.
Which is what it was, just like, wow.
Yeah, that's something nobody prepares you for.
Yeah.
That's something nobody would ever expect, especially as you said, you were living a happy, healthy life, and out of
I was so angry with the existence during that time. I remember talking to the doctors and like asking, why me? Like, it's not that I smoked my entire life and now I have lung cancer.
Yeah.
I was like, please just tell me why me, and this question, why me, why did it happen to me, drove me absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I did all of those things. And then one of the doctors, she came over and she said, I mean, you're a fellow German, so you might know this. She says, PP, persönliches Pech, which means sometimes you're just unlucky. Sometimes it just happens. And she said something that is still in the back of my mind. She's like, sometimes something happens and it's up to you why it happened. Meaning, you give things meaning. I was like,
Oh, that is incredibly mean.
Yeah, but at the same time, she said it in the most loving way, and there were a couple of moments where I needed that answer.
You just were seeking, and any
She
answer would have
saw
helped
that,
you.
she could have given me, potential explanations, but she was very honest. She was also, we had a good relationship, so it might sound, maybe it sounded rough, but it was one of the doctors I really connected with. There were a couple of nurses and doctors that I had a connection with, and she was one of them. And she was like, it's really up to you to decide why it happened. And I'm really grateful for that answer, because now at least I could create meaning.
Yeah.
Instead of asking myself why me, because until today nobody knows. And sometimes things just happen and you don't know why. So it's up to you to create a story why it happened.
Wow. And that opened your eyes.
Now, yes. I want to mention, or I want to highlight during interviews that not immediately I was able to shift my mindset and my focus, and I want to highlight that there were also times, there were a couple of days where it was just incredibly hard to exist. Everything happened so quick that they gave me a lot of painkillers and a lot of things to just numb the pain, morphine and everything. So I didn't really have time to process all of this until I got better.
Okay, yeah.
Until I got physically better, then there were no painkillers anymore. And I would just be in my hospital bed in the evening crying for hours. And nothing really happened, but I was just processing and crying, and I'm crying. I remember the nurse walking to the room asking me, do you want anything against it? And I'm like, not really. I think right now, because of all the things I've done in the past, I've skipped a couple things, but I've been in the personal development world for God knows how many years. I knew hey, there is a reason why my body can cry, not just women, but also men. We all have the ability to cry, to process, and it was really, really necessary. But yeah, that is where the story starts in a hospital room, fighting for dear life, and it was for my family probably tougher than for me in that moment, because I was high on morphine. And painkillers. I didn't understand. I really didn't understand. And I have such amazing people around me. They kind of protected me from any, especially my sister. She is she's big on this, on positivity, on the law of attraction. The first book she ever gifted me was a book called The Secret. Maybe you know it. We come from a tough background.
Yeah.
So she started working early on her mindset, and she would protect me from negativity and fear around that time.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So they were just trying to, create the best environment for me to heal.
That is so nice and kind of your sister, and so wise. I assume you're older or younger?
No, she's older. She's
the older sister.
She's the older sister.
That was probably the person that you needed the most in that moment. And in general, I think when shit hits, family is so important.
Yeah.
People that are truly, truly close to you. And I guess you're grateful for your sister until today.
Yeah, every single day. I owe a lot to my sister, but also to my brother, to my whole family, to Mariana, my partner at the time. When people ask me what made you survive, I always say couple things: Western medicine for sure, resilient mindset, and love. Like the love for my family. Not for a single second I was like, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna do everything I can for them.
Yeah.
Every single thing I can, and I did.
Wow, that is really, really nice to hear, and I am very happy that you're here today. And it's a shocking story, you know. Can I ask what exactly got you physically out of there? Did your body just suddenly responded to the medication? Because I mean, if the doctors tell you got 1 week left, that looks pretty. I mean, it seemed like the medications weren't helping until the last minute, or what was.
For a long time, nobody really knew what I was even going through, what I had. So it was at first really just trying to figure out what it is so that you can treat it, and because it all happened so fast, there were a few doctors who said you can't even treat it because his body is too weak to get rid of to process the medication, like my liver and everything. So they didn't believe it would work. But in my family, when we get a no, we just ask someone else.
Yeah.
So we found different doctors, different hospital, and they're like, we can treat this, we can figure this out. And I got treatment, 6 very challenging rounds of chemotherapy, and the medication worked so well, was so effective in the first rounds. Like my body responded, I want to say very, very well to the medication, and a lot of cancer cells died rapidly, which almost killed me.
Wow.
And I was on a dialysis machine, so my blood was being basically washed, recycled. Like I cannot highlight how amazing Western medicine can be, because I feel like many people, social media, they demonize Western medicine, doctors, and I get the point, I see why, but let's also not forget about all of those lives that are saved every single day because of those heroes, doctors, nurses who work so incredibly hard.
Absolutely.
And it was just, I was laying there, I was like, wait a second, so this is my blood going through this machine, being
oh my god,
cleaned?
yeah,
I mean, dialysis, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life. Like it feels like someone is taking your soul for a couple of weeks.
Oh my god.
Like no strength, no. I was laying in a bed for a couple of weeks. I think a bit more than a month. I couldn't walk anymore.
Wow.
And keep in mind, that guy was. I mean, you can see I'm fairly fit, hopefully.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Take off my shirt. No. And all of a sudden, I'm laying there in this bed, I can't even go to the toilet by myself. And my blood is being washed.
Was it because you were so weak that you couldn't walk to the bathroom? Or what is...
I mean, it was weeks of just laying in a bed. And at some point, also treatment started. I had surgery, so my body was just not capable anymore to stand. And this dialysis machine.
It's hard to imagine this. Like,
it's wild.
I'm trying to relate right now. I'm trying to imagine when was the time, like when you're super sick, you know, when you have like the worst flu ever, or like I don't know.
Nothing comparable. It's
nothing.
more
That's
like
what I mean.
You
like
get
I
hit
can't.
by a truck.
Yeah, that also never happened to me.
Okay,
So
I'm happy.
thankfully it did not happen to me. So it's so I guess also for a lot of listeners, it's very hard to even relate to how much pain you must have went through and how that feels if you lay in a bed for months and you can't move, and you're like, but before that you were a happy jumping around person and living your life. That must have been that must have done a lot to your psychological health.
Yeah, I wanted to actually say the psychological pain was way harder to deal with than the pain I felt in my body. Because when you go through pain, and I went through a lot, you just get painkillers in most cases.
That's
and they have very
Western medicine.
Western medicine. They have some very interesting painkillers.
Yeah.
I have a funny story. Maybe we have 2 minutes for it. So I had to get a lot of different punctures done, like bone marrow puncture. You may be familiar with lumbar puncture, and some of those punctures, they basically get a needle, and I don't want to bore you with the details or scare you with the details, but at the end of the day,
scare me. Come on, scare me. I'm curious
when you see the needle, lumbar puncture, for example, I think some people might be able to relate. It's a needle that long that you basically.
Wow.
They don't give you anything technically. You're just on your hospital bed. You lay forward, and they go with this needle into your back.
What is that? 20 centimeters?
I felt long.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So, anyways, those bone marrow punctures, they were, I don't know, like I heard the term bone marrow puncture. I think I watched some movies when I was a child where they, portrayed it as the most horrific experience that you can go through. Like, and so I had this neuro association in my head that is like,
watch as a
I don't know. I watched a lot of television when I was a kid. Probably like some sad movie. But anyways, here I am. Right, like I think I had 2 weeks left before I had my bone marrow puncture, and I suffered more in my head than I actually suffered during this bone marrow puncture. It was painful, but it wasn't that bad. But to get back to your question, like the psychological pain was way more than actually the 30 minutes of someone putting a needle in your back, whether it's a lumbar puncture or any bone marrow puncture. Dealing with it in my head was way more different. The funny story I wanted to tell you. So at the end of treatment, I have my last puncture. A female doctor comes into the hospital room. Very kind, very gentle, very soft, very sweet. She comes in, she's like, today I will do this with you, and I just wanted to ask, do you want to take anything before we do this puncture? And I look at her, I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm someone who, if you know me, I try always the natural way. I don't, if I have a headache, I ask myself, why do I have a headache, and not just take a painkiller?
Yeah.
So as much as I can, I stay away from it if I have to.
Yeah.
So she comes in, and I'm obviously scared because it's still painful. And she's like, do you want to take anything? And she gave me something that made me so incredibly, I'm not going to say the name of the drug, but I took it. It makes you, I didn't feel anything, but I was still awake.
Okay.
And I'm like, and everything felt so incredibly funny. I was just laughing the whole time.
No way.
And I'm like, you're telling me this now at the end of the treatment that I can take this? Are you joking? And she's like, yeah, I'm so sorry. My man colleagues, they're sometimes just in their movie. I was like, oh, wonderful. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm actually
very funny.
Curious, what was that?
I can maybe even, if you want to, I go the extra mile and I find a clip, because a friend of mine had to be next to me and just see that I'm okay after the puncture. And she recorded me with my phone.
No.
It's hilarious. I just talk. It's funny. It's
oh my
incredibly
God, that sounds really funny.
Yeah. But to get back to your question, the psychological pain, way harder.
Yeah.
And it didn't stop after the treatment.
Yeah, so you were treated, but you were still in so much psychological trauma from all of this. And how did you, I mean, first of all, like, how long did your entire journey of cancer lasted? Like, from the beginning when you got diagnosed until you were in the situation that you were in a bed, couldn't move anymore, until the moment you were walking out of the hospital with you're free to go, never see you again here.
Hopefully. Yeah. It sounds like ages, but it was actually just a couple of months.
It was just a couple of months.
It was November. I remember it was incredibly cold. November, December, going through all of it, fighting for dear life. And then in January, February, I was stable, and then in end of March, I got released from treatment. So like six months, I think, in total. The recovery, that was, I would say, even the hardest bit.
Yeah,
like returning back to life after being in a hospital for a couple of months and dealing with the immense amount of fear.
Yeah.
Because, going through anything like this is hard. I love people.
Yeah.
And it was pandemic. So only...
Oh my God, so nobody could visit you.
Like one person at a time during certain hours, and because of my immune system, I mean, anybody who had cancer treatment before knows your immunity gets weaker, so you need to be very careful with meeting bigger groups and learning how to get back to the real world and not living in fear, because that's something I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
For me, it was no choice that I live for the rest of my life in fear. So that is an entire topic that I now connecting the dots. Sounds weird, but I'm grateful I went through this, because I learned how to deal with fear, how to process fear, how to dance with fear. So now I can teach others.
When you say fear, what kind of fear were you experiencing? Because was it the fear of becoming again physically sick into that situation, the fear of not being able to wake up tomorrow, what was the biggest, I guess all of these fears combined, but what was the fear that you really carried within?
One, when it all happened, there was of course fear of dying. That is a very unique fear. It's different than anxiety about a meeting. It's just, it's something else. It's something I haven't experienced until then. The fear of it returning, that was the main thing. Like, what if this happens again?
Yeah.
That question came with me after I left. What if this happens again? So every single time afterwards, when I did a blood test or something, what if this happens again? And then one thing is, like, I remember shortly after I left the hospital, if I would get back pain or something, like immediately, oh no, it happens again.
Oh, was it like the first symptoms, or?
Yeah. The symptoms I felt when all of this happened was sharp back pain.
Like that was it.
That was it. I went to a hospital, telling them I have incredible back pain.
Oh.
And then they gave me something against the pain in my back. One day later, it got so much worse. It was like 12 out of 10 pain. I couldn't sleep. So I got to another doctor, and she tells me, like, based on your inflammation markers, I think you need immediate treatment. You need to go to the emergency room, and I think your appendix is bursting. And I remember her saying, your appendix is bursting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they need to take my appendix out. I won't be able to train for 2 weeks and not go to work, and I won't be able to work for a couple of weeks. Oh no. I mean, perspective is a funny thing.
No, that would have been the
I
best
would have signed
case.
everything, like, here, take my appendix.
Yeah.
Still have my appendix.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And so the doctors in the beginning thought that you're not treatable because they thought your liver would be too weak to process the medications. But in the end of the day, your liver was strong enough to process the medications.
Yes. I got to say, with the help of Western medicine, dialysis and stuff.
Because
without,
they washed your blood, and that made you...
helped also to process the toxins and all of it. And so you basically
couldn't leave that machine because your blood was...
No, the machine was part of me. For
right.
Time.
Like I was just saying, you could, your whole life was in that machine because that was all of your blood. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So the fear of it coming back was the hardest thing afterwards.
Yeah, of course. If you went through something like this, that is extremely traumatic. Like, wow. No, that's So you walked out of the hospital. What was your? Do you remember? I mean, you must.
I remember vividly. Like the moments when when shit hit the fan, I don't remember because I was heavily drugged. So I hear a lot of stories. Some of them also funny. Like I did some funny stuff.
Yeah.
But the time after when I was sober, I remember vividly. I remember going out of there and like for the whole time when I was in the hospital, there was this one goal, like getting out of here.
Yeah.
By the end of, I think it was March or something, getting out of here, that's going to be the big thing. And then this day arrived and I was like, wait, where are my balloons? You know, in the sense of this should be wow.
Yeah. And
but
it was
for
just
everybody
a
in
normal
the
day.
hospital, it was just like a normal day. It happens every day that people get out of there. And then whole new mountain of challenges arrived.
Yeah, I mean, so what was your job before that? Did you had to quit your job?
I was self-employed. I was doing mainly I was working in the social media world. So work I didn't care about.
Yeah. Okay. So that was
Yeah.
You were influencing already back then.
Yeah. No, I started my my own personal brand already long time ago. So during that time, work didn't matter. I would have given everything away.
Yeah, of course, it's your life. I mean,
I always tell people, because perspective is a funny thing. During that time, I would have given everything away, my social media, my money, investments, everything, to just be able to go out of there and have dinner with my family.
Yeah, to have the people around you truly love.
To just be able to walk again. I would have given everything away. I would have taken a loan for $10 million, $100 million. I don't care. And I think that gives us perspective about how much value our health has, the people that we love.
Literally, I think we all need that reminder. And sadly, our human brain sometimes is installed that we don't learn unless we actually been in the situation where we had to learn. Like, I bet nobody in this room values the simple health and life and the family that you have as much as you do, because you know how it feels when you lose all of this. And
well, I hope it's changing in this room and everybody.
Yes,
for everybody who's
absolutely.
listening. I always when I host
Absolutely.
retreats or events or talk to people, I always say, like, I want to make a deal with you. I offer you $10 million. Will you take it? And everybody says, like, of course I'm going to take it. Yes, but what's the catch?
What's
only
the
just
catch?
one tiny thing. You won't be able to wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I mean.
And everybody says, oh, okay, fuck off, Axel. And then I say, okay, well, if you don't want to trade your life, your body, your health, what about do you have a pet like your dog? And everybody's like, you don't touch my dog.
Yes.
And I'm like, what about your best friend? And I do this at events, at retreats, and they sometimes come together, they look at each other, they're like, no, my message is you were born rich.
Yeah.
Like, your life is so incredibly rich right now. I don't care in what situation you are. I understand that it might be harder to see it in certain life stages. It would have been much harder to see it when I was in this hospital room. But even then, my life was incredibly rich.
Yeah, it's
incredibly rich. You were born rich. We're all incredibly rich. Just we sometimes forget.
Yeah.
But all of us are.
I love that. We would never trade our best friend for $10 million. That means we kind of have already $10 million worth for us.
Yes.
Personal worth it. Yes. And maybe even more money, you name it. But yeah.
Your ability to walk, to breathe.
I love that one. I'll keep that with me. I love that one.
Good.
Really, it's so amazing. Yeah, or like, as you said, the simple, the ability to walk, the ability to see and taste good food, live your life. Yes, that is so true.
And if you can't walk, because sometimes it happened to me once that I was on a stage, and then I said that thing, and then there's someone in a wheelchair, and
But he has all the other things.
And he is like, well, you really hit me with the thing, that the person that I love the most. Like I wouldn't trade anything for her. It's like, that's how rich you are.
Yeah.
Like, you were born rich. It's just about a certain mindset and perspective in life.
Yeah.
Because often we think the money, the car, the job, the promotion, whatever is what makes you rich.
Rich, yeah.
But if that would be the case, everybody who would have those things would feel rich. And I'm sure you, just like me, know a lot of people who have money, who have the fame, and they're miserable.
Yeah, they're working on exactly what you said, trying to see this ability of like knowing what's the true rich.
Yeah.
What what makes us humans? What is the value in our life?
Yes.
And that is such a nice example. I really love that one. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, back to your story. After you went out of there, you're cured now, you're back to life. How did you got your mindset back on track, I would say? Because right now I see you here, you're super strong, you're happy, you walked in here, big smile. I could see that you've definitely overcome this, if I can say that like
100%.
this. You've overcome this, you are stronger, better.
Yes.
And what shifted in your lifestyle, maybe in your I bet you had a tough recovery after this. I've seen some of your before and after. It's incredible. But yeah, how did you get there?
That might be a long answer. So I wanna say that our bodies are capable of incredible things. And you know, when you said your recovery must have been tough, honestly, it wasn't as tough as I would think. I was able to still eat the food that I wanted to eat. I didn't struggle with appetite. The doctors were looking at me and it's like, how are you able to do all of this?
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Because I told you before, I was already eating healthy, and also during the treatment, I was eating mainly healthy.
I think that,
which was sometimes challenging, and I said a lot of nice things about doctors here and the medical, the Western world, but the hospital food, Jesus Christ, I don't know who decides on what they give to people. It should be changed. But anyways, I didn't have such a horrible journey, I must say. During the recovery time, like I before it all started, I thought I'm gonna throw up so much. I thought I'm gonna be weak all the time, and it was challenging, but I was able to still enjoy my life.
Amazing. Yeah.
I was still, and every day we would ask ourselves, like, how can we make today special, even though we are in this hospital room, or at some point I was also able to have breaks and go outside to friends. I'm like, every day, how can we make today special? How can we make it good? Yeah. And I would go on walks. This was my highlight of every day. I would watch tennis matches. I really challenged myself to see the beauty in that moment. In
to make every day still a special day.
Exactly. And one of my biggest role models before and still is Viktor Frankl. I don't know if you know him. He wrote a brilliant book, Man's Search for Meaning. Every man and woman should read that. He was a psychiatrist during the Holocaust. He went to a concentration camp. His entire family, not entire, but big amount of his family was killed during the Holocaust. And he wrote a book about how he dealt with this situation during this time in the concentration camps, and having this story, having a role model, having role models, people who go through something that is so incredibly unjust.
Wow. Yes.
And still find a positive outlook.
I have not read that book, but you just got me so hooked. I'm gonna read that book after this.
I think even the editor, he was writing down the name.
I was like, yeah, I've seen that too. I was like, is he looking it up? I want to.
Yeah, Man's Search for Meaning. Everybody should read it. And I have goosebumps all around my body. The beautiful thing is that they still found beauty in life afterwards.
Yeah, that is a strength that is very valuable.
Yeah, and we all have it. We really all have it, and it comes down to our focus, and whatever we focus on, we experience, even during those tough moments. I mean, also like the opposite. You can be in the most beautiful hotel, Maldives, 5-star, wonderful, and feel like shit.
Of course, yeah.
Right. So we can also feel good in moments when shit hits the fan. We can still see all the beauty.
Yeah, it's a mindset thing.
It's a mindset thing. It's what you focus on. And that's one of the reasons why people who might have all of the outside success still feel miserable, because most of the time they're focusing on what's bad, on what's missing. Might make them successful in the business world. If you always, focus on what's missing, it's never good enough. You go. But being successful and being fulfilled are for many people two different pairs of shoes. So in my world, during my journey, I really try to make this time special and celebrate tiny things, enjoy cooking, enjoy eating again, enjoy my recovery. I lost 30 kilograms.
Wow. Yeah.
30 kilograms. I was massive. And so I was enjoying every day. I would try to beat the version I was yesterday. Just one push-up more, just one shoulder tap more, just a couple minutes more on the treadmill. Like the whole process of me learning how to walk again.
Oh, did you actually had to... Oh, wow. So you actually had to build up your muscles again in order to walk. But was it also like, did your body remembered how to walk?
Yeah. It
was just no muscles.
Also no muscles, but it just, if you lay for a couple of weeks and don't move your legs and stuff, it takes a bit of time. It started with, there's a video that perhaps you can put on the screen right now, where I'm just sitting and I'm tapping my feet on the ground. That was already so incredibly challenging.
Oh, really?
Just tapping my feet was, just getting up was like, oh my gosh, exhausting.
Wow.
And then we went from just tapping the ground to, okay, let's try to stand. And there were 2 people around me.
Yeah.
Holding me. Just 5 seconds. Come on, just 5 seconds. And the last thing I wanted to do is to stand up, But it was... I knew that's the price I'm paying to get healthy again. Like, get uncomfortable.
Well, it's the price we're paying also in daily life. Like, we gotta go run these miles in order to become fit and healthy, and it's uncomfortable while you do it. But the thing that we now listeners, like, what is tough for us to relate is that just standing up, that must have felt for you like running a marathon. Wow.
It felt like talking to it's the same fear that comes up and level of discomfort when you want to talk to someone that you like, but you're afraid. It's the same fear that comes up when you have a brilliant idea, but you feel you're afraid of what the response will be.
Yeah.
It's this initial fear of the first step.
Yeah.
That is the hardest. Once you make the first... Once I went up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. And like, all those beautiful hormones, you would feel, and you're like, afterwards I would sit down, I'm like, I'm fucking proud of myself right now. And then, then I went on walks with this, I don't know what the right term is for basically this machine that supports you while you're walking.
Yeah.
And that was already like major. I saw progress.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. I'm making progress. I'm going to the right direction. And then I was able to walk without it. And see, like this time, it sounds like I was in training for the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
We really try to make it special somehow. And that is something I want for everybody to understand. You can romanticize your life on a daily basis, every single day like this.
Yeah.
Find beauty in the tiny things. Little bit of progress today.
Yes, every day.
Little bit of progress, little bit of appreciation.
Yeah.
Of what's already good. All the beautiful things in your life right there. You can, and to all the high achievers, we're sitting in New York, listening right now, you can have both.
Yes, yeah,
you can
absolutely.
be grateful
absolutely, yes.
for what's already in your life.
Absolutely.
And still go out there and achieve whatever the heck you're achieving. The good news is you will do it with a full heart and you won't burn out and be completely miserable when you're 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking back at your life. So it is one of those, everybody's training their biceps here. Train your appreciation muscle.
Yeah. Appreciation is key. Being grateful, one of the most powerful things that we human beings can do. And sadly not so well known, I would say, especially in a world like here in New York, where everybody just comes and hustles and tries to make a living, and we forget to look what we're actually really grateful for.
Yeah.
And there's so much things, and the most thing that we can like put in the value comparison that you said, would you trade your best friend? I mean, for $10 million? No. So you kind of have $10 million.
Yeah.
So that's
most people, whenever I say that, they're like, yeah, but you don't know my story. You don't know what I'm going through. I don't have money. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I have this medical condition. And I get all of this. But again, it's not the outside event that determines how you feel. Because otherwise, again, all the people who have the money, the fame, they would all be the happiest people alive, no? They would be all incredibly grateful.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's just not the case. It's not the outside thing that determines how you feel. It's your interpretation of it.
The feeling and the situation are two different things. You are feeling a certain way, but you can feel grateful, happy, even though when everything goes to shit.
Yes.
Because it's two different things, and we need to learn how to separate those. One thing is the situation. Yes, you might own the bank X amount of money.
Yes.
The other thing is your personal feelings.
Yes.
Which you can separate and be grateful still for the things that you have. Be happy for you waking up and the sun is shining and you have a good day.
Yes.
That is,
It's not the event that makes it stressful. It's not your job that makes everything stressful. It's your interpretation of the job, of the loan, of whatever situation you're in. It's your interpretation. That's where, to come back to Viktor Frankl, that's where your power is.
Yeah. And so you took that mindset, and maybe that is also what helped you to actually get out of there alive. Because I am a big believer of
100%.
Psychological health aligns with physical health. And if one goes to shit, the other one can go to shit. But if you kept the entire time, okay, not the entire time, I bet it was very, very hard. But if you kind of kept this positive mindset, as you said, every day you try to still make it somehow livable, and you didn't give up on life completely. You were like, the walk was the highlight of the day. You had a highlight. You had something positive. You had something to look forward. Maybe that psychological happiness that was there for you, that was just that little happiness. It wasn't like a big party, right? It was a little thing. Kept you alive.
100%. 1,000,000%. I said earlier in this formula, Western medicine, strong mindset, and the people I love, or like love in general. I mean, our mindset at the end of the day is what determines the quality of our lives. Not the money, not the anything. It's our mindset is our mental muscles. And I also want to say, when you said the shitty situation, because looking back, I don't know if I would if I would call it shitty anymore. Back then, and that's the whole part. It might be incredibly hard to let that thought into your head if you're going through a challenging time at the moment. But at some point, and I'm sure it's true for you in your life and everybody listening, watching, at some point in the past, you thought this is so incredibly heartbreaking. This is so unfair. This is so traumatizing. This is so bad that this happens. And actually, you look back now and you're like, thank you that this happened. I think about...
That is basically your book.
Yeah. You never know if something's good or bad. You only can connect the dots looking backwards. And I run around with the mindsets in life. That's why I write an entire book, or that's why we called the book. Maybe this is happening for you, not to you. You never really know.
And I think there's also a lot of situations in people's life where they will never discover that something that they thought was the worst thing in their life turn out to maybe keep them alive.
Yes.
Maybe it was something that made their life so much more positive.
Yes.
And I think in your case, you clearly were able to connect the dots today.
Yes.
And I would love to get into that right now. But for a lot of people, there could have been situations like car accidents and things where really everything, it looks like, what could possibly be good about this?
Yes.
But if you would look from the sky and you would see the whole world,
Yeah.
then maybe there was something that was actually the best possible outcome for you.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of the saying, the universe is always on your side.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And when we say that, I don't think we have... I like when I say, maybe this is happening for you, not to you. I don't know if it's true. Like,
No, of course.
I don't have
never know.
evidence. I have evidence in my own life, but I mean like scientific evidence.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that this perspective on life is much more fun and entertaining than saying everything happens to me and like poor little me and everything is negative and
Yeah.
Because if you choose to believe everything is happening to me, poor little me, your reality will reflect that. That will be your reality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, how about you start looking for how could this possibly happen for me? And your whole mindset shifts. You become a whole, it's a new personality because, I've been there. I wasn't super positive when I was a teenager. I grew up with alcoholics. Like, my life was like shit until and there was the day that turned my life around was the day when I started asking, how is life happening for me? Instead of, why did my mother pass away right after I was born? Why did I have to be raised by alcoholic caregivers? Why me? No, if I look back, I can see how this made me a better person. I can see how it led to so many amazing things, and taking my mother as an example, she died shortly after I was born. If she would be sitting here with us and I would be asking her like, what perspective do you want me to choose on life? Do you want me to live like a victim and tell myself like poor little me, I grew up without a mother? Or would you want me to say life happens for me? Because of this situation, I grew up with my grandma. I spent a lot of time with my grandma who made such a profound impact on my life and spoiled me with the most amazing food and so much love. And because of that, I got so close to my siblings. Like, my siblings and we are like this.
Yeah, of course. It made you bond so much better. And yeah, can I ask why your mother passed away?
She had cancer.
Okay, yeah. And then you said you got raised by alcoholics. Is that something I can tap into, or?
I speak about this quite publicly. I don't usually give names or something.
Yeah, of course.
but I speak about that quite openly. I have a Russian background, and the percentage of people who go through who grow up with alcoholics is unbelievable. So but that again, that experience made me the person I am today. And someone can walk into the room, I can sense the energy of that person immediately, because I grew up with alcoholics. You never know in what kind of state they are. But as a child, you kind of like, you need to know, is this safe? Is this not safe? Like, can I ask right now for ice cream or can I not? Can I ask to play?
Yeah.
And this today, like when I have coaching sessions, like just by the energy, the person, the facial expressions, all of it, like I developed skills that I would not have without this experience. So this happened for me.
Yeah.
That's the perspective I choose to believe.
Yeah. Wow. And so you wrote the book. Maybe this happens for you and not to you.
Yeah, maybe this is happening for you, not to you.
You wrote this book, and it just came out now, right?
It's coming out 11th of November. We're actually announcing it tomorrow in Times Square. That's one of the that's one of the reasons why we came to New York.
That's exciting! Wow! So that's where. How long were you writing the book?
Also, it might sound hard for a lot of authors, because we had a blast writing the book, and so many people told me before, writing a book is a pain in the ass, and it's awful and blah blah blah. It's such a painful process. And my co-author is my best friend.
Oh, cool!
We booked a villa in Mallorca, Spain, and had the most amazing time. And then we wrote it in I think in total like 3-4 weeks. We just had so much freaking fun writing this book.
That's so amazing.
The biggest work around it is like actually everything that comes after the title and yada yada. But the writing part, a couple of weeks, and we loved it.
Yeah, wow, that's really amazing. Yeah, but that shows it's a like genuine book. It comes from the heart. It is your story, and wow, really incredible how you shifted this whole situation into something so positive today.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear a little bit more about your recovering journey. How did you got back into daily life? You are now based out of Bali, you said.
Yes,
traveling
a lot of time in Bali.
Traveling the world. I see you doing a lot of also retreats and helping a lot of people having a better and more positive mindset.
Yeah. Couple things, because you also asked earlier and I didn't really answer. A couple things that really helped me was asking for help.
Yeah.
Communicating my fears, getting out of my head whenever moments like this would occur. Especially men, they keep a lot of their struggles to themselves in their head. Because of the work that I was doing prior, I communicated when I was afraid.
Yeah.
So then people could reflect to me like, hey, this is right now, this is just a thought. It's all good. You don't have anything. It might be just back pain, or my surrounding is really, really funny. So when I would have stomach pain or something after, eating properly again and different kinds of foods, I would get stomach pain. I'm like, oh my gosh, what if this? And she's like, well, could be that something is going on, but could also be just that you need to use the restroom or something like this. So really having communicating, getting out of my head, asking for help. I had a amazing therapist. He's actually from the US. Love that. Love him dearly, and
amazing.
I'm a big advocate on asking for help.
Yeah.
And I still have him, my therapist, and immense help. Eating properly, like I couldn't eat all of the foods I told you earlier. My immune system was suppressed for a time. So certain foods, like my beloved broccoli sprouts, I had to stay away from, and certain foods. But overall, eating whole foods, eating good, healthy food. And that is something that was really different for me compared to a lot of other people going through treatment. I still had appetite. I felt rarely nauseous.
Yeah.
And I was able to actually gain weight during therapy, which is
Great.
like doctors were like, how on earth do you do that? There was even one medical doctor who was doing the punctures, and he's like he wasn't going through treatment or anything, but he's like, how do I gain weight? So eating the right foods, eating whole foods mainly. It's I hope I can say that here on this podcast. It's especially being here in the US, it's disturbing for me to see how many people eat fast food, and that fast food options are cheaper than whole food options. I think it's ridiculous. But that really helped me to recover that fast. Like within months also, I got back in shape.
A good diet is the first building block. It's everything,
Good diet. I mean, my sleep was on point, and then it obviously helped a lot that before that I already took good care of my body. I was exercising, so your body has it's called muscle memory effect. It goes really quick.
Amazing.
When you lose it, and you did the work before, it's quite wild when I see those before after pictures, and like, wow, like the body can change so quickly. It's nuts. So exercising and actually doing the things that I'm scared to do, taking mini risks was incredibly important for me. Like, I don't know if it's so relatable. Because of that time in the isolation, I was kind of scared to meet people or to touch people.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So getting used to that was very, very interesting. Like going to events. I was kind of like afraid of people, scared of people, touching them and like getting something from them, and like because for 6 months everybody's telling you can't do this, and everybody around you needs to be tested, and like they try to protect you, but then you go out of there. So me really like just taking mini risks.
Yeah.
Like meeting one stranger today, going to a cafe, going to a restaurant, all of those things, they were like, mini risk. And then one day I said, I'm tired of this. I want to take a big, massive action step. So I went to a football stadium in Milano, San Siro, 90,000 people. And after that, I'm like, oh, screw it. I was healthy after. I'm like, if I can take this, I can take anything. Yeah. And I want to say positive stories, success stories. They really helped me in my recovery.
Wow, yeah, listening to other positive, uplifting stories that give you hope.
Yeah, Dr. Google scared the living... I can't swear on your podcast, right?
Yeah, you can.
It scared the living shit out of me to this. Whenever I Google something, and then at one point I'm like, and that's why I put an entire section of success stories in my book that really give people hope.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like there's this snowboarder who got cancer treatment, and a couple years later won Olympic gold. I'm like, wow, those are the kind of stories I want to hear.
Yes.
Like people who overcome incredibly difficult things and then choose to say life happens for me.
And you are the perfect living example for that. You are your own success
I wanted to become one of them, and
I think you are already. I think you are already. Absolutely. No. Curious question. You say you're not allowed to eat the healthy broccoli sprouts that you love so dearly.
Yeah, during treatment,
Why is that? Because you said your immune system was suppressed and then you couldn't eat certain foods. What kind of foods were you not able to eat?
So they were measuring, and that's quite often the case if you get intensive treatment, especially if you have suppressed immune system. They just want to minimize the risk of getting infected. So I wasn't advised. It's not that anybody said you are not allowed to eat this. They were just advising, especially when they would see blood levels are critically low, to not eat anything raw, to stay away from fermented foods.
And because all of them are hard to digest. or harder?
Not necessarily hard to digest, but it's more about the infection risk
Okay.
of certain foods. Like a
okay.
healthy person can, you can easily. I think I wasn't, for example, allowed to eat certain nuts
Okay.
because they are more when you consume them with a low immune system, they can cause infectious diseases. So sprouts, raw foods in general, they advise to cook certain things, or like to eat cooked foods, and I just worked my way
around that.
around it. Certain fruits I could eat, certain fruits I shouldn't be eating, and I tried to. I mean, it made sense for me when I explained
absolutely.
it, and then I just did what I could. Certain fruits I wasn't allowed to eat, so I was just looking at, okay, what can I eat?
Yeah.
And there were certain fruits that I could eat, and I would eat those fruits and those veggies and make the best out of it.
You are also plant-based. Is that something? Were you before your
Yes.
cancer? You were already plant-based.
Yeah.
And then I've seen you recover on a completely plant-based diet.
Yeah.
So well, building up so many muscles again, basically all of your muscles.
Yeah.
Because you were really down to, I would say.
I went from
0.
90 kilograms. You use pounds in the US. It's twice as much plus 10%.
I'm German, so I'm also.
Wait, 90, 180. I think 200 pounds. 200 pounds to 60 kilograms, which is 60, 120, 100. 130. Am I making mistakes? You can look it up. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, a third of my body weight.
Yeah, went down.
And now I'm back to the same amount of weight.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. And you did all of this on a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
And did you focus a lot of like plant-based proteins, or did you just normally just didn't really cared about the protein intake? You just eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. And what was your diet like?
Yeah, it's actually funny that you mentioned it. I did not worry about protein. I saw you posting a picture with David Sinclair the other day, and during my time in the hospital after treatment, I obviously had a lot of free time. So I would listen to all those longevity experts, read their books, and really, because I wanted to know, like, what can I do to protect myself?
Yes, of course.
I became obsessed with it. It was
yes.
like, this was like, I want to know, what can I control? What can I do?
To live a long, healthy life.
To live a long, healthy life, and do even like maybe improve certain things afterwards. Because my diet before all of this happened was healthy, for sure. At the same time, I think I actually overconsumed on protein, because I was a lot about like CrossFit and building muscle. Whereas now my entire priority has shifted more to what is the healthiest for me. Whereas before I wanted to be the biggest, strongest version. Now it's more like, what can I do to be the healthiest version?
Yeah.
And I might not be, especially like in the last 1-2 years, my heart health has improved so much, because I started to play paddle. Americans play pickle, we play paddle, but I lost a little bit of like muscle mass in the last 1-2 years because of that. And David Sinclair talks about protein, and because of that, I started to actually consume less protein and worry way less about protein than I did priorly. So I just focused on eating mainly whole foods. Something that I became obsessed with was really like broccoli sprouts afterwards, because I feel confident enough to say that they are cancer protective. They can be cancer protective foods. Broccoli sprouts. So I really
I've heard about broccoli sprouts quite a lot, and you know what? I'm gonna go get my broccoli sprouts after this.
Go get your broccoli sprouts.
Everybody
get on your broccoli sprouts. You can also just make them at home. They're so affordable, organic. You order it online, and you can sprout them anytime, everywhere you go. Or if you're lazy like me, I usually go to.
When you travel, you know,
When
there's
you travel-
no way of sprouting your
Yes.
own thing. I was like, yeah, nope, that's not gonna work.
I usually just go to any organic store like Whole Foods.
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna
you
get them.
You buy them there, but yeah. So to answer your question, I didn't change that much in terms of my diet. I eat mostly whole foods.
Yeah.
I eat less protein now than I did before. I would say I eat less processed foods, and I mean, because I saw already that my body does really well in terms of muscle mass with plant-based
Yeah.
protein, I didn't worry like some doctors did,
Yeah.
nurses did. I remember some of them like, "Are you sure you want to do this vegan? I don't think you'll be able to rebuild your muscle mass without animal products." And I'm like, "Well, let me try."
Yeah, of course.
Let me
give it a
try, and we see. And I did, and I
Yeah.
like incredibly fast. So
Wow.
that was a
What do you think was like the key nutrition? Like, you know, some people swear on their coconut water. Other people swear. I mean, okay, I got it. Broccoli sprouts. Broccoli
Yeah.
sprouts is the.
I would say, my number one food after broccoli sprouts would be
After broccoli sprouts.
like broccoli sprouts and then nothing. Hummus for sure, but on a daily basis, I would say berries.
Berries, yes.
Yeah, I think
yes.
that should be one food we should all incorporate into our into our diets.
So, I'm curious, what are you doing today? What is your life like? You said you're based in Bali. Is that because you think it's very pretty there? Is there any? No. Is there any? Is there something for your work? You are helping a lot of people. Do you do one-to-one coachings as well, or do you do more like just tell me a little bit about, or tell us about it.
Usually I go wherever I feel the best, and Bali is just my happy place. I feel incredibly relaxed there. I love mainly I go to Bali for the people. We hear that
from a lot of people actually focusing on health and longevity. Yeah, I think.
Because also it's funny. Fits the theme of today's episode. I hear a lot of people who go to Bali and absolutely hate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
It's polluted. It's a lot of traffic, and that's one thing you can see. You know, you can go anywhere and find something bad.
Yeah.
We have this thing, and you're German as well. You will know. Would be interesting to hear if they have it in the US as well. During the summer, let me start there. During the winter, everybody's praying for summer. Oh my gosh, it is so cold. The sun is barely shining. I can't wait for summer. What happens? Summer arrives. Oh my gosh, it is so hot. I can't. The mosquitoes and everything. It's so hot, and I can't wait for winter. And then winter comes, and it's the same loop. So that happens in Bali as well. Anywhere you go, you can find something negative. For me, it's just the people there. Incredibly kind, incredibly chilled, and it really grounds me. It really calms me down.
Amazing.
And I'm able to just do the things that I love the most. And what I love doing the most is playing paddle and helping people and creating hopefully useful content. And that's why I have this as one of the bases. But I've open heart, and if there is another place that is equally as nice, I'll go there and spend time there. My day-to-day life these days is actually I'm working less, especially in comparison to what I did before. Before all of this happened, I'm working less. I'm playing more, just playing more but not just paddle, but also in terms of life. Like my number one priority is not work anymore. Maybe right now for a month because of the book, but otherwise it's not my priority anymore. It has shifted. More still important, but what's way more important is that I live a life where I'm like incredibly proud, that I have fun, that I spend time with people and really connect and get to know their stories. And travel to this year. I traveled to Kosovo to go to the wedding of my best friend, and
amazing!
Can't really work for an entire week just to make that happen, but that's how I want to live life. So Bali is one of those places. We host retreats during the summer all around the world. I have a couple of one-on-one coaching clients. I said a long time ago already, like, I don't want to do any one-on-one coachings on the screen anymore, but there are some people who have been with me already for quite some time. So
amazing,
they keep booking me, keep extending. So otherwise it's mainly group work that I do. I started a personal brand 8 years ago. That is something that I teach for anybody who wants to do similar work that you do, that I do, which is, building your own world, building your own brand and helping others with that. So that takes a big chunk of my time, but otherwise it's a mix of paddle, friends, love, good food, broccoli sprouts, and a bit more paddle.
Yeah, and a bit more paddle. You're obsessed with paddle. We have some good paddle courses around here.
I heard.
Yeah. You could go.
I'm just missing the people who can play.
Oh, yeah. My paddle might be rusted in. I've played the last time 2-3 years ago, but it's fun. It's definitely a fun sport. I love playing 2-on-2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So paddle is your go-to. I think that's something very important, to have a hobby that you love doing and you just enjoy doing it on a regular basis, and that's kind of like equals to that little thing you're looking for every day.
Yeah.
Making it a highlight, making it a day worth of living, a day worth of enjoyment.
Yes.
And that's what you were doing, no different when you were in the hospital and you were going for your walks. That
100%.
Was your paddle, basically. Something small you were looking for.
Yeah.
I bet paddle is much more fun than the walk, but still, still it kind of equals it.
Yeah.
So, and that makes life brighter and happier. And here you are today, so successful, got yourself out of all of this craziness that hit you, I would say, and made you a better person today. And a stronger person with such a clear mindset that you can give on now to people, that I think truly, like, as you said, maybe that's happened for you. Look how many people you can help today. Yeah. Just what you said earlier, that 10 million comparison. I really love that one. You see, I'm holding on to this one. Like the 10 million, would you trade it for a friend? Would you trade it for your partner? No, hell no.
Yeah.
So you're a wealthy person because you have that already. You gave that to me today. I'm going to take that forever. And I think it's something so amazing that you're giving advice and bright, positive perspectives to people because of what you've been through.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were that person before as well, but I guess experiencing this has underlined all of that and being more grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. I once came across a book that was called Blessed with Cancer.
Oh, wow.
And I understand now why someone would say such a thing, and it might be triggering for some people. I really get it, and I think it's much more empowering to believe that all of the challenges, incredible growth opportunities, that you can turn your worst day into the best day, that you can turn adversity into a gift. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do with this book. I really want to give people the tools to turn shit into gold, whatever that moment for you was or is, whether it's a heartbreak, whether it's a car accident, whether it's the big C word, cancer. I want you to read this book, go through the journey, and turn it into something beautiful, because you can. Yeah. I did it, and so many other people did it. I'm 100% sure you did it in your past life, in some not in past life, in this life, in some shape or form. And that is my main book my main message with the book.
And maybe also never give up, because you did not give up. I mean, they told you have a couple days left, but you didn't give up. You looked for a different doctor. You tried to find solution, and I think sometimes not giving up is really the key.
Yes, and I owe this to my sister. She would never, and she taught this to me. She's like, we don't take no for an answer. When someone says no, when something doesn't work, you just try again differently. And if that doesn't work, you try again differently until you have what you want.
Yeah.
She's a model, by the way, as well, and an actress. And she really needed to develop this mindset, like until I have what I want. I changed my approach again. And that was so incredibly helpful also afterwards. In the whole journey.
If you were like, if somebody is listening right now and is really going through something really hard, like similar to your situation, what would be one thing that you would advise while you go through it, when you're not on the recovering journey already, like when you're really in
the midst of it? What comes up is to give it time. Time is an important part of the whole healing formula. Time is something incredibly important, that we give ourselves time to grieve, time to digest, and that you don't have to beat yourself up right now if you don't have the motivation to get out of bed or to meet someone again. I have a dear friend. He was involved in a car accident, and he's the I think I can he shared it once on a podcast. Is my best friend. He was involved in a car accident. He was driving the car, and his friend in the car died. Recovering from that, giving himself the time to digest, to grieve, to process was incredibly important. And then to at some point take a mini risk again. Because for him it was like, I'm terrified of driving a car again.
Of course.
So for him, being a passenger, like a mini risk. Okay, and then driving by yourself. Mini risks is what I would share with those two things. Give yourself time, and then at some point, little mini risks, little bit of progress, little things that you can do. Because one day, if you do those little things every single day, they end up and they become a mountain of progress. And the third point would be asking for help. Really asking for help, whether it's a therapist, a friend, communicating how you genuinely feel. This is one of the most beautiful things you can do, and it makes any connection so much deeper and more beautiful when you share how you really feel.
That is also the step of healing. When you say it out loud and your brain can hear it, it helps so much.
100%. 1,000,000%. I think out of all of them, that's probably the most important one, asking for help. We are social creatures. We don't have to. It's boring to go through big wins in life by yourself. And nobody does that. Like something amazing happens, the first thing you do is like you call a friend or a family member, like, oh my gosh, I just got my driver's license, or oh my gosh, I met this boy and he was so nice and sweet and asked for my number. Like you share immediately, don't you, with someone. When something challenging is happening, we're kind of like, let's keep it to myself. We should be sharing that as well, like really what's going on in your head. And as a man, I want to make that really clear. I don't know how many people who are listening here are fellow men, maybe 5%, 10%, but for those 5%,
no, you would be surprised.
Yes? Okay. Amazing. For my fellow men, speak about how you really feel, what's really going on. It's not strength to just suppress every single thing you feel.
It's actually the strength to speak it out loud.
And share vulnerably how you really feel. The leading cause, and it's an incredible sad fact, the leading cause for premature death in young adults in many countries like the UK is suicide.
Wow.
We are in the midst of a mental health crisis, and especially for men, also for women, but it's even more so for men. And I want everybody to just share how they really feel.
Yeah.
Not just about the challenges you go through, but also share how you really feel about the people you love.
Yeah.
You would be surprised how many dads never told their sons how much they love them.
Yeah, wow. It is sadly so true what you're saying.
How many sisters never told each other how much they loved each other. How many people keep this love and appreciation they have for themselves. And if I'm going to challenge everybody who's listening, who's watching, who's sitting with me inside of this room right now to, right after this episode, pick up your phone and just send someone a voice message or call that person if you want to go the extra mile, a person who you love so dearly, and just tell them, hey, just 30 seconds, I love you. And here's why. It's not your birthday, but I just want to let you know. I don't want anything from you, but I just want to let you know that I freaking love you.
Yeah,
for
that's so
XYZ.
true.
And be specific. Those are the things that have shifted in my life. Like, I want to know how people feel, really how I feel about them.
Yeah.
Especially the people I love.
And it makes a bond also stronger. It's just a beautiful thing to do. All right, so I think we've gotten to the end of our time here, and I honestly have to say I've learned a lot in this episode, and I really, really think you're such an inspiring person, and it's I'm gonna walk out of here with a positive, mindset and a smile, and I'm gonna keep in mind that all of the people that I love so much are not gonna be tradable for 10 million, each of them.
No, 100.
I'm a very wealthy person.
That's very true.
So I'm really glad that you gave me that on my way. Really, I love that. So where can people find your book? And when it comes out, it is going to come out next month?
Yeah, 11th of, very easy to remember, 11/11. Yeah.
Great, yes.
11th of November. First of all, thank you for all of the sweet words, your kindness, the food that you brought, and I mean, pretty much everywhere where you can buy books, you can buy mine. One thing that I want to mention, I thought, how can I bring more value to the table, especially for those of you who are going through challenging times. We added meditations, visualization practices that everybody can do to the book. Meaning, when you buy the book, you can keep your confirmation number. I'm sure you'll provide the links, and people can access this. There are multiple coaching sessions. There are meditation tools, so that you are not just reading a book, but really implementing and changing and taking many risks and romanticizing your life with me on a daily basis. I think everybody, that'd be my wish for everybody walking out of this episode, this room that you've created today, to have one anchor. And if it's just 5 minutes of your day, one anchor, preferably early in the morning, otherwise you'll forget, where you train your appreciation muscle.
Yeah.
Where you train your focus back to what's good and what you want in your life. Like, it's really the question that I ask myself every single morning. What is already good about my life? What makes my life already rich?
Wow, yeah.
And so that'd be my wish.
That's amazing. I keep that practice actually not in the morning. I do it before going to bed.
Also great.
Gives me sweet dreams. It helps. But I guess having the right mindset for the day is also not wrong. So yeah.
Doesn't hurt to do it twice as well. So.
Exactly. No, really amazing. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to Health Hacks. I hope today's episode gave you more knowledge to improve your health.